and welcome to the Blue Devils Advocate. I'm Max Arzu. I'll be filling in as host for this week. Before we get into this week's topic, we hope you enjoyed the first episode. Be sure to check it out on CCSU Blue TV or on our YouTube channel at the link posted below. In this week's episode, we'll discuss res life at CCSU. Although Central is labeled a commuter school, res life still plays a vital role at the school. The school offers varying dorms for students who wish to live on campus. The most notable hall is, of course, mid-campus. The 8-story res hall is the largest on any of the 4 Connecticut State University college campuses. The state-of-the-art building showcases the best of what CCSU res life has to offer. However, older buildings like Vance Hall leave a lot to be desired. The building you live in will always shape your college experience. Maybe your dorm room had no air conditioning, or maybe the room was just a little too small. But sometimes it's not about where you're living, it's who you're living with. Our correspondents Fabian Fonseca and Chelsea Scribner went out to find some of the best and the worst roommate tales.
This is Fabian Fonseca reporting live for CCSU for Blue Devils Advocate. This week we will be discussing what makes a bad roommate. It might be very frustrating to have a bad roommate. Someone could be untidy, someone could be very messy, unhygienic, loud, noisy. And this can also shape your college experience here. Other people might have no disregard either for belongings, like myself with this coffee table. So we'll be diving in about what exactly makes a bad roommate. How you guys doing?
Good. All right.
So, how many of you have a bad roommate? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
So, what is your ideal good roommate? Like, what's a good roommate to you?
I would say they respect your stuff. Like you talk with each other, hang out, That's about it.
So, what's a bad roommate to you?
They're dirty. They don't respect your stuff. They don't talk to you. Things like that.
So, do you have a story of a bad roommate experience, though? Because you're a freshman, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, wouldn't you say that having a good roommate can sort of shape your college experience?
I would say so.
Okay, great. Is there a story that you have about a particular bad roommate experience?
Sure. Me and my roommate, we have spoken 2 sentences to each other.
Since you moved in?
Yeah.
Is there any way to kind of boost that relationship?
I'm not doing it. Anger management problems.
I hear you. Thank you. How's it going?
It's going all right.
So, what is your ideal good and bad roommate? Like, what's a good roommate to you?
A good roommate would probably be like one that's chill, laid back, and probably doesn't use my stuff. And if she needs to, like, ask first, just stays to herself.
Is that what a bad roommate is to you? Someone that uses your stuff?
That's one of the qualities of a bad roommate, I think.
Is there anything else that makes a roommate bad, so to speak?
Probably like uptight. Doesn't let me have friends over. Just like that kind of stuff.
Can you tell us a story about a particular experience that you've had? If you've had any experiences with a bad roommate?
Sure. So I had my boyfriend over one day, and we were just sitting coloring, and the whole time she was watching Game of Thrones on her computer, but she's actually staring at us and giving me the death glare. And then later on that day, she told my friend that she didn't like me having people over, and how whenever she wants to hang out with somebody, she has the courtesy to hang out with somebody else. And then the next weekend, she was trying to kick me out of the dorm for the whole entire weekend so she could have a guy over.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. So what is your ideal good roommate? Like, what's a good roommate to you?
They're friends with you, they don't touch your stuff, you have a good working relationship with them.
So people that touch your stuff, is that what makes someone a bad roommate?
Well, if they do it without asking, or if they just don't respect your personal boundaries.
Is there anything else that can make anybody a bad roommate?
Definitely if they are, coming and going at late hours, if they're not, being respectful to you, what you need to do, like in your room.
So do you have a particular experience that you've had with a bad roommate?
Yeah, lately they've been coming back very late at night, like 1, 2 in the morning, and they'll have like either friends over, they'll have other company, and it's like if you're trying to sleep or if you're trying to study later at night and they come in just making a lot of noise. Awful.
I'm sure that's terrible. Thank you.
Back with Fabian Fonseca and Chelsea Scribner. I'm joking. Fabian Fonseca and Chelsea Scribner. And so the topic that we're getting into is the qualities of a good roommate versus the qualities of a bad roommate. And so what we'll do is we'll just chop it up for a little bit and we'll see what we get into. And so Chelsea, do you live on campus?
I do not live on campus. I actually commute here. I don't live too far. I would say it's a decent amount of travel time. I live in Manchester, so it's about 20 minutes, give or take, on the traffic and, if there's construction during the wintertime, bad weather. So I don't mind it.
And so what's your experience like commuting to campus?
So far it's been okay, I should say. The weather hasn't been bad, but they've been doing a lot of construction, and I have to go through Hartford, so I have to go, under the bridge, and that gets a little messy sometimes, depending when I'm coming. But other than that, I've been fortunate, honestly, this semester.
And the last question before we get into it, what's being a commuter? Is it difficult to find parking?
It can be at times because I like to park in, I guess I would say, the popular parking lots. And I like to park next to the library because I have a lot of classes in Vance. Then I also park in Welty because I have a class right over there. I'm blanking on the building's name. But so that parking garage I do not like at all, and that takes me a while to find parking.
And so Fabian, how about you? Do you live on campus?
No, I do not.
And what's your experience like commuting to campus? How far do you go?
I'm in Rocky Hill right now, so it's only about a 10-15 minute drive, so that's not the problem. Honestly, the only real issue that I have with commuting to campus is just finding parking. And unfortunately for me, the only lot that I can really find parking in is in Copernicus.
Okay.
So Welty's completely out of the question.
And so what we're going to do right now, we're going to talk about some of the bad qualities of a roommate and the good qualities. So we'll start with the bad. And in your experiences and in stuff that people have told you, what makes a bad roommate?
Someone who's just untidy, obviously, number one. That's a big plus. I think roommates should be very respectful of each other, and know that a clean environment is obviously a healthy environment. So, and just someone who's not really obnoxious and just is very respectful towards. Let's just say someone has a test the next day and they're cranking music until 2, 3 in the morning while someone's trying to read and study. That's not really anything that's too good for the good roommate. And so, as long as you just set boundaries, I think that's how you can be a very good roommate.
And you said that you do not live on campus.
No, I
so
don't.
Do you know anybody that lives on campus that had
Yes.
bad experiences
Yes,
and
my
bad
friend
stories?
had to move out of Gallaudet because he couldn't study.
Really?
Because first of all, he said his room smelled awful, which isn't too great. And his roommate was being too loud and coming home super late at night while he was trying to read and study. So he had to get out of there as quickly as he could.
Okay, so now we're going to switch roles. We did the qualities of a bad roommate, so now we're going to turn and do the qualities of a good roommate. What makes a good roommate? Some of the things you've heard, some of the things you've experienced.
Well, I've lived at home, so I guess my roommate would be my dad. But number one, in any situation, school specifically, I think you need to have great communication and kind of lay down, the rules from what you want from day one. Like, all right, this is my schedule, this is your schedule, this is what works, doesn't work. Definitely you need to respect one another, because if you don't, you're going to walk all over someone, and maybe you're scared to say something because your roommate Ashley, was up till 2 a.m. and you had a test and you needed to study and go to bed, and she's not respecting you. So I think respect and communication is key in any relationship, because if not, it's not going to work. A friendship, a boyfriend, any of that. Also, too, I think, you need to kind of be tidy because you don't have a lot of space. So, to leave your undies, your coats, everything, it's going to get walked on. That's important too.
And so when we get into talking about the good and the bad roommates, those roommates can make or break your experience, not just in college, but, with anything else. If you decided to have roommates when you graduated college and they're not tidy, they're not clean, they're disrespectful, they come home late and stuff like that, it can affect the way that they live and the way you live also.
Right.
And with some of the dorms here, there's about what, 9 different?
9 dorms roughly.
Yep.
And so I believe this school is what, like 70% commuters or 30%?
Yeah,
like
it's
that?
a lot. It's
Yeah.
a lot of commuters.
And so, yeah, a lot of those people, they tend to move out because of the people that they were roommates with. Some of them aren't respectful. And so what is your take on people that decide to move out and get an apartment outside of campus?
Well, I mean, me personally, I think that's probably the best thing to do if you want to stay close to campus, because it's definitely the most cost-effective way. I would say living on campus here is a little bit too pricey for most people. So if you want to live close to campus here and still save a little bit of money, move out, and definitely pulls you up by your bootstraps, so to speak, gives you that sort of independence and freedom that you always wanted. So I would say that's the best thing to do.
And so, Chelsea, how about you?
I think, living on campus, you do benefit from, like, they have the meal plans, for example, and if you don't have a car, you're going to find stuff to do on campus. So there's that, like, silver lining of it. And then also living off campus, you have your freedom, you might have a roommate, but you're also going to have to grocery shop. You're going to have gas money. So there's ups and downs to both scenarios.
And so now, we were talking about the qualities of a bad roommate, qualities of a good roommate. So now what we're going to do is, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you think you'll be a good roommate, Chelsea?
I think I would be a good roommate because I communicate well, but there are some nights that I don't respect my dad and I might come in late and, be noisy and wake him up. So I think when I really have to try, it would definitely be a learning experience, but I would be good.
And Fabian, how about you?
I'd be a phenomenal roommate. I really would.
Why do you think that?
Because I'm a considerate person, and I know that everybody else has other things to do and obligations to take care of, and I'm definitely all for people doing that. So I would be very considerate and courteous of others' needs.
All right. Well, Chelsea, thank you. Fabian, thank you. And this is Max Arzu here with these two. And what we're going to do right now, we will take a quick break, and we will be right back. It's one thing to hear about the residence halls that CCSU offers, but that doesn't always paint the entire picture. Luckily, we were able to get an all-access tour. Lindsey Grant takes you inside the dorms at CCSU.
This is Lindsey Grant reporting live for the CCSU Blue Devils Advocate. At Central Connecticut State University, about 75% of the students here are commuters. So what does that make for the 25% living on campus? We take you into the dorm life here at CCSU and what they get to experience. Gallaudet Hall is a 6th-floor co-ed quad residence hall with every 3 rooms sharing a bathroom. The 1st, 3rd, and 5th floors are male, the 2nd and 4th are female, and the 6th floor is half female, half male. Each floor contains a lounge complete with a television and a kitchen. Other amenities include a game room, vending area, and a computer lab on the ground floor and air conditioning. The laundry room contains 3 washers and 3 dryers that run off the Blue Chip debit card. Gallaudet's mascot is the Gator. Barrows Hall houses 226 residents and is CCSU's only exclusively female residence hall. The 6-story residence building was constructed quad style, meaning every 3 rooms share a common bathroom. It offers a common lounge located on the ground floor with a big screen TV. There is also the penthouse, which offers a great area to study, hang out with friends, and enjoy a breathtaking view of campus. The penthouse also includes 2 flat-screen TVs. The laundry room contains 3 washers and 3 dryers that run off the blue chip debit card. The building's mascot is the Bobcats. Mid-campus Residence Hall opened up last year of fall 2015. This new hall offers 3 styles of living: double room with attached bath, suite with 1 double and 2 singles share living room and bath, and suite with 2 double rooms sharing living room and bath. Each floor offers a kitchenette, 3 alcoves, and 1 group study room. There is a 2,000 square foot fitness center, community kitchen, activity and game room, and a large meeting room. Now you're probably wondering, how are the dorms monitored here on campus? I got to speak to an RD who talked about the positions of the RA, the process of becoming an RA, and what their responsibilities intake, as well as the perks of living on campus. In order to become an RA, you need to attend the info sessions they have in the beginning of the year. You must have at least 24 credits and have a GPA of a 2.5 or above. You must have lived on campus for at least 1 semester. RAs must have leadership skills and be able to manage conflicts. They must show group dynamics involving interacting with a group of people and go through activities during the day, do interviews, and go through training of a week to 2 weeks. The responsibilities of being a RA involve the health and safety of the building, being on duty and responding to lockouts, having their own programs, giving resources to students. Students should live on campus because it's a different experience. Living in a community, and it shows to be more involved and develop leadership skills.
And that's all for this episode, everyone. We hope you learned something about res life at CCSU. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, then contact us via the information posted down below. In our next episode, we will be discussing resumes and internships. Until next time, I'm Max Arzu. Have a great day, everyone.